Welcome back, children of the night, to Blood and Syrup, a Vampire the Masquerade live play podcast. I am your host, Count Vlad von Lestat, drinker of blood, keeper of the chronicle, and all-around a spooky dude. The coterie's night off became a complete and total disaster. Everett turned Jocelyn St James into a kindred. Ridley tried to sort out Everett's feelings before the vampire hunter turned vampire escaped. And Iris discovered the demon form when she was ambushed and is hearing a new voice in her head. Abandon hope, all ye who listen here.
Recent kindred Jocelyn St. James is missing. And you know what could go wrong from a vampire hunter who has recently turned with absolutely no one to give her the ropes, having disappeared into the night. Your Dinkeldorf cab has arrived at Mayday Malone's. Ridley and Everett, you are soaked in blood and in ragged clothing that you'd bought for prom/Elysium. And the sun will be up momentarily. You only have a few moments to kind of wrap up your night. But I did kind of leave you in the lurch. So what do you do after discovering that the trunk, or as Jocelyn might say, the boot of the cab is empty?
Shit.
Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but like, she didn't want to be a vampire, so maybe she'll just sun herself, you know, just nice little poof into the distance. Goodbye.
I hope so. I mean, we're kind of sort of responsible for maintaining the masquerade. If Kindred at Turn goes, shows up in a public place and does something that gets on the news, that's going to put a lot of heat on us.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they won't know we were involved. Technically, we were just in an alley where we left all those corpses, and definitely I touched everything. So, fuck, okay, we might be involved. This wasn't a great plan.
Maybe this Elysium thing is a good place to kind of, I don't know, pick up some rumors about maybe any kind of rogue vampires out there. I mean, everyone at this party is going to know the telltale signs of a kindred.
I mean, she'd have to fucking do something tonight. I mean, the fucking sun's coming up. We're not going on a nice Australian vampire hunter search. I think we got to go inside, eat some of the buffet. Maybe you should have a snack, just something, because it's been a rough night. It's not what you want. We can just fill you up full of blood, have a nice fucking sleep, and then tomorrow we go get my fucking gloves, and then meet the famous people.
Honestly, I could just do with a change of clothes and a shower right now. I think that'd be best for me. And maybe, you too.
Yeah, okay. Well, come inside. Come inside. So we'll go inside and they'll be like, all right, so take off your clothes. They'll give it to the boys and say this again. We'll see if I can read the tags. They'll do what I do. And then he's just takes the thing from behind the bar, because I don't think there's a shower in here. And it's just soda water. Just like hoses himself down and strips his clothes off. He's like, get your fucking clothes off. This deals with the blood.
No, not up here, Ridley. This is the cover. This is the front. We don't get our blood all over this part of the room.
It's fucking 6:30 in the AM. It's fine. It's fine. It goes down. You think there's been no blood in here? The Bear Boys work here. I swear, I've seen them rip off a man's arm just right over fucking here.
Blood that is bled here is one thing. Blood that is tracked in from a crime scene is another.
Yeah, but mine's already on the floor, and it's the same blood. So, I mean, it's not going to get any worse.
I'm going to go downstairs. And I go down to the basement.
You go downstairs to find Harvey and Chonky both just having a nice snooze. They've done that adorable, like, buddies in a buddy cop film sleep thing where they've, like, slumped against each other. And they're just lightly snoring. Harvey kind of blinks awake when you come down, and he's just like, well, shit, Everett. I'm sorry. I guess we should be in those nice coffins. Your buddy, that handsome Ridley guy, got us, huh? I'm sorry. I'm just so used to falling asleep leaning on things, with my comedy life and my detective days. It was a little strange for me.
You can sleep wherever you want, Harv. It's fine.
All right. Hey, I got an indelicate question for you there, Everett.
What's that, Harv? I'm a little I'm a bit of a mess right now. Can it wait?
Yeah. I suppose. I was just wondering if you had any cats on you.
No. I think the bear boys are probably going to get you something during the day. And if they don't, I'm sure there's plenty of cats, alley cats, raccoons around here. You're probably going to be fine.
Yeah, all right. I just thought I'd ask.
No harm in asking.
Yeah, you look pretty rough there, partner. You might as well get cleaned up. There's a shower in the back, eh?
I thought I saw something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, you take care of yourself, Everett. I think you and me need to have a chat about. And he just like taps one of his fangs about this whole situation. Sometime rather soon.
We haven't really talked that out. I'm sorry about that.
Hey. Honestly, comedians are up all night anyway. This is just fine for my career choices here.
Right. Yeah, good. Between now and when we have that talk, you just make sure to keep out of trouble. All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm just having a snooze with Charles over here.
All right. Well, good day, Harvey.
Yeah, you too, Everett. Go get cleaned up.
I'll go take a shower.
Great. Iris, your apartment is also a bloodbath. It seems to be a common theme from everyone's nice night off where they could just do nice things they wanted to do.
Yeah, thanks for that.
I didn't roll the messy successes. Iris, you've just heard a voice in your head. You were attacked after Iggy arrived at your door. And you and Emily managed to subdue all of your attackers. You are still crazy feral, though, with an elongated jaw, extra long teeth, and jagged, razor-sharp bone spikes coming out of your elongated fingers, or fingies, as we like to call it around these parts. And a voice in your head just said, "Oh, it's you again." What is your response?
I kind of give my head a shake and kind of take the reaction off of Emily that she didn't hear it. But if I have the capacity for quick thinking, I would ration it away as the drug.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. The voice doesn't say anything else to you. It just kind of had that statement. And as you shake your head, it's a little bit like if you've been hit by a flashbulb. You shake your head, and the vision of what you'd just seen is kind of almost there as an after image. And you can actually feel, and it's rather uncomfortable for the first time in a while, that you have a pulse. Like blood is physically rushing through your body. And you're kind of,
but I feel like that feels good because that is what I want. I still want to be human.
It absolutely does. It's a little bit like if you've had a stuffed nose for a really long time and you just kind of forget what not having a stuffed nose is like, and then suddenly you don't anymore. You're like, right, this is most of my life. I've just had a shitty couple weeks. You'll never guess whose allergies are acting up. This guy.
I'm alive again.
Yeah. So it feels good. That said, I think having a chance to actually like look at kind of what's happened to your hands is a bit alarming. That said, you can already see the sort of elongated fingers beginning to recede slightly, and as your vision continues to swim, you find yourself starting to. You basically find the effects of the drac are already starting to wear not off, but recede a bit. You got a real hard jolt. But it's not like instantly. You have one victim hung up in your snack room, as you've dubbed it, and Emily is still in there. Also, keep in mind you have a weird voice now, for continuity's sake. Iris, what do you do?
I probably let Emily do her thing. I'm just like, I'm rapidly changing back.
No. Think of it as the sort of like long pointed fingers are starting to recede, but it's not an immediate thing. It's not like Wolverine just like snicking his claws back in.
Mm-hmm.
It's that the initial dose gave you like think like almost like an adrenaline shot to the heart from like that Pulp Fiction scene where it's just like you had a sudden burst of this. But now that you're kind of trying to consciously settle yourself down, you're again kind of assuming everything is part of the drug. It's starting to recede, but there's kind of a throbbing to it. And you get the sense it's probably going to take like an hour and a bit for you to be properly back in.
So then I probably could collect a bunch of things that calm me down. Like human things, like scents and candles and my fizzy wine, and I'll go lock myself in the bathroom so that I don't hurt anybody else.
Okay. You hear Emily bumping around outside cleaning up. She really is the best. What song is Emily listening to as she cleans up?
Shawn Mendes.
Bold choice. All right, so Emily is working on that. Miles, can you roll me a let's go with resolve I think resolve. Resolve and weirdly, I think awareness? Or I would take awareness or perhaps persuasion. This is rolling for how much your random human totems manage to calm you.
Tom, if you're giving me persuasion, I'm always taking persuasion.
Do you think Iris would be trying to persuade herself that everything is fine, like the dog drinking the coffee in the burning room? Or would she be... Basically, would you be doing the fake version or the real version? Like, is she actually doing the work, or is she just trying to Band-Aid over it with...
I think she's scared, so she's like, yeah, I'm scared. This isn't normal, so I'm actively trying to...
So awareness would be like, I'm going to meditate. Persuasion would be like, I'm fine. This is fine. This happens all the time. Whatever. What?
Yeah. Okay.
But it would be in your creepy voice.
It's fine.
Yeah, there you
go. Really good roll.
You're really good at denial.
Yeah. That's 5 successes. 3 of them are 10s.
Are any of them on a hunger dice?
No, I don't have any.
Regular successy.
Remember, I ate a lot of people.
Yeah, you did. You had a fancy feast.
She's got us there.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, so yes, you light a bunch of candles and just try your damnedest to chill the fuck out. There's something incredibly comforting about the fact that Emily is back. You're out of immediate danger. Also, I think as someone who has spent the last few combat encounters being like pants shittingly terrified that everything can kill you and you can kill nothing, suddenly having the ability to kill things is also a weird kind of comfort, despite the kind of horror that comes with it. But yes, what do you put on music? Do you listen to ASMR? What are you doing? What's kind of the atmosphere of the room? You mentioned like candles. What else you got going?
I put on Friends.
Okay. This is a very important question that I think all of us have always wanted to know about Iris. Who is Iris Dunn's favorite character on Friends, or the one she identifies the most with?
Rachel.
But she's actually a Monica, right? I think we can all agree.
She identifies, she loves Rachel, but it's probably Monica, yeah.
All right,
she's an aspirational Rachel.
An aspirational Rachel. Amazing. I love it. Okay, great. So as Iris watches that one where you occasionally hear the muffled sounds of screams from the snack room. As anyone who's lived in a modern built condo knows, their walls are made of paper.
Not good.
Yeah, but you also hear the occasional like thump and every so often an Emily line being like, "You're ruining my Sean," and then the music just turns up slightly and suddenly the screams are gone.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with that. I feel like Emily would have soundproofed the snack room. She's smarter
Emily
than that.
hasn't been back for very long.
Okay. Well,
If you remember, she moved you in, and then
God damn it, Emily.
she got attacked by Keanu Batista like the day you moved in.
She's a wolf person now.
Yeah. But I will take the Emily would have done this under consideration as something Emily might do soon. That's also why you moved in next to Kyle Minogue, because he's super loud. And currently loud building murder gauntlets for Ridley. Great. So Iris, that's how you spend the rest of the evening into dawn, is just waiting for your body to kind of recede back into itself, being vaguely uncertain of what form it will take when everything's settled. But again, as time goes on, like it does look a little bit like things are getting back to normal. Fingers crossed. Everett, you shower and change and I think tuck in for the evening. Ridley, is there anything else you do after hosing yourself down with soda rather than the water that is also on every bar tap gun?
Yeah, well, soda helps get it out of the cloth. I feel like he'd strip down. He would scrub the area. Like, he's not just going to, like, spray blood all over the bar. No, he's like, there's a ground and there's a grate. So, like, cleaning equipment.
Yeah, the old sluice grate.
Yeah. He'd spray it down there along with a bunch of, like, fucking whatever the nastiest cleaning stuff is possible. And then I think it'd just be a quick convo with the Bear Boys about, like, you know, go get fucking Everett's clothes. He probably took them off and folded them like a fucking moron, full of fucking evidence. And then take mine, burn them, and get us new outfits to make us look fucking classy. So I guess Everett, just make him look like a cop at a formal event. But, you know, I aim for police stripper. I feel like it's a classy stripper, though. Like one of those fucking ones that goes to a millionaire's house. And me, Don Johnson. That's fucking nailed it. And then I need fucking buffet. I told you guys to bring a buffet, and there's no buffet. Buffet when we wake up, everyone's going to be hungry. Bring a fucking boatload of cats for my son. And then somebody narcissistic, because Chonky seems to be into that. I mean, that's me looking after Everett's boy, but I'm a good fucking dad, ain't I? So, you know, have a nice day. Give me my shit. You're all the best. I love you, boys. And then he kisses them each on the forehead, like a dad would, and then he goes to fucking bed.
Cool. So you've left this task with Chonky's right-hand man, who is now running the daytime operations. He is a bear boy named Sugar Chesterfield.
Right.
He's technically more of an otter than a bear, but you know he makes it work. And he just kind of nods. He's like, "Well, hey, you heard the boss. Let's go shopping." And then he nods to one of the other bear boys and says, listen, Saskatchewan, you go to the nearest kill shelter. I want you to get every cat who's an asshole. Just everyone they don't want. Let's keep our cat kills clean here, yeah? And they all put their hands in and they go bear boys, which is something they've never shown Ridley. But that they've secretly been doing every morning before they set out on their murder missions.
Really likes it.
Oh, do you catch it from the doors? And he's like, "Oh, shit, sorry, sir, we weren't."
No, I think Ridley wouldn't even say anything.
Just
It's that,
smiles.
It's that like dad closing the door on the kid, thinking he's reading a book in a sneaky way that's really obvious. It's just him like it warms the cockles of his dead, unbeating heart as he like goes down.
Amazing. And with that, you turn in for the day. Another day passes in Montreal. Newscasters everywhere are relieved to finally not have to talk about the CN Tower bombing or the murder of Gordon Stevenson, but instead to get to report more heartwarming stories about the Satin Prince and his legacy. But Montreal, of course, the news is consumed also by the club fire and the string of disappearances that seem to be plaguing the city. A lot of things happen throughout the day. A Dinkeldorf cab has its trunk or boot, if you will, hosed down and just chemically cleaned very deeply. They luckily have the Dinkeldorf managed to get a hell of a deal on replacement, upholstery and that sort of thing for the cabs. So yet another one goes in the incinerator, knowing well his business. Under the watchful eye of Sugar Chesterfield, the Bear Boys set out in search of a buffet for Ridley, which means it is time to roll on the chart of victims.
So Ridley looks excited, like one of those people, but he's like naked, just getting out of bed, doing one of those like almost excited for the what the hell is it? Price is Right run. Where he's like, fucking yeah.
He wants to play the Matterhorn.
That new coffin's got a little ballroom.
I will say all of this happens before you awake, but that will happen as soon as you do. So this is weirdly a daytime sequence that none of you are directly involved in. But Ryan, I'm going to get you to roll for Sugar. So please roll again. We're looking for a score out of 50. So go ahead and roll a D100 and divide it in 2. Miles, if you could please do the same for we'll say Jean-Luc Packard, who is a like an unconventional bear boy, bald, very good at tactical stuff, loves Earl Grey tea, is also out on the hunt for alternate victims for foods. So if you could both go ahead and roll me 2 D100s or D10s rather, one being the big number, one being the small number, and then we'll divide.
Ridley would need his 2 snacks. So 46.
46 from Sugar.
$41.
Ooh, and 41 from Jean-Luc Packard. All right, well, let's flip to the back of the book.
So spooky.
Ooh, it's part of the binding.
Oh, it's always been here.
All right. Oh, wow, that's pretty good. Oh, wow. Okay. Very interesting. All right. So, Miles, Jean-Luc Packard finds a... Oh, boy.
Are you sure it's not Packard?
It could be. It's ERD, so it could be Packard, I suppose, if we really want to lean into the bit. Okay.
We never lean into bits here on Blood and Syrup.
Look, I was trying to sneak clearly Jean-Luc Picard through without drawing too much attention to it. But yes, Jean-Luc Picard is enjoying his Earl Grey tea.
Listen, I'm still back with Sam Saskatchewan, so we're having a nice time here.
Yeah. I do believe the note on that particular Patreon name was "Good luck pronouncing this one, comma LOL." So I hope you're LOLing, you beautiful monsters. So. Yeah, fuck it. He finds a Jean-Luc Packard finds a skater who is trying to escape an enemy gang. He is in fact a skater boy named Levine, and he's running from a gang that is really pissed off. He was tagging their property, and he happened to roll into Jean-Luc Packard, who offered to help him escape. He knows a great bar where they can lay low for the day. And Jean-Luc notices particularly that Levine seems to have been tagging his own face on the wall in spray paint. His tag seems to be a picture of himself. So he's hoping that'll be a good snack for Chonky. Or Charles, as we've learned his name may actually be. Meanwhile, Ryan, you awake. You do your excited to play Price is Right dance. And you see a very tired looking Sugar Chesterfield sitting with a hand on the shoulder of a slightly skittish looking man, and Sugar is like, morning there, boss. I'm glad to hear the coffin has more ballroom. That was definitely on the wish list there. I think we can all appreciate a little more ballroom. Got this guy. from seemed to be lurking. You know, he was in a van, and saw him. Just kind of seemed to be observing people. So figured that's an evil guy, right? And the guy seems to be like not that concerned.
I don't know if that's true. Oi, Gav, what are you doing in that van? Sorry about the nudity. This seems more aggressive than I'd intended to have a conversation. I'm going to put on some fucking pants just to say. And he like awkwardly pulls on pants, but he misses one leg a little bit, so it's a little hoppy, and then he kind of comes back over. He's like, "So what the fuck are you doing in that van? Just looking around?"
Oh, well, this is kind of embarrassing, but we heard there might be some problems around in the neighborhood, and we just want to try and keep it safe.
Now, when you say we, who's we?
Oh, just a couple of my friends and I, we were like a Neighbourhood Watch kind of group. So we got a van with some surveillance equipment, and we've just been trying to like stop any crimes. There's been a lot of murder around here lately and people disappearing. So we want to put an end to that. And then he kind of like pauses. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Are you the Ridley?
Oh, well, it's always nice to meet a fan. So, I mean, yes, but who are you?
My name's Seymour Wayner. And we've heard, and it would seem my name is particularly appropriate this morning, given your ballroom, sir. Listen, we and my friends, we heard you've been doing a lot of good around here. It's been a lot safer since you and your crew showed up.
Well, that's nice. What do you call your little group, friend?
Oh, a little thing I like to call the FBI. And suddenly there's an explosion upstairs, and a team of SWAT guys come rushing down the stairs, guns up, and Sugar Chesterfield is like, "Oh, I knew that van was too easy." I would say roll for initiative. That's not what we really do in this game. Everett, you're sleeping in the office in the back. You hear an explosion, and classic yells of "Get on the ground! Get on the ground!" But you're still in your little alcove because you don't sleep with the rest of these cats. What do you do?
We have to get to a party.
Tyler, no one wants to get to Elysium, one of the key facets of Vampire the Masquerade, more than me. But when you roll on the table of victims and
an FBI agent comes up,
a surveillance technician comes up,
yeah,
and you send one of the inexperienced bear boys to do it, shit just happens, you know? Also, we've established there's an increasing presence of investigators and
okay, Tom, we're gonna need to create a list of bear boys so I know who isn't dog shit.
Well, it would seem that Jean-Luc Picard really nailed it, as he would. He made it so
bastard. Because I'm like, I got a biker gang with full reliability.
Yeah, cool. We've really been respecting the hell out of our character creation rules. Hey, Tyler, why don't you tell me about your touchstone, the pediatrician that we've met a bunch of times?
I'm waiting, man. Hold out.
Oh, boy. All right. So, Tyler, what do you do?
I get up. I don't have a shirt or pants on because
Through the Ridley
they were
special.
They were covered in blood. Am I fortunate enough that the bear boys dropped off clean clothes? Or am I?
Yep.
I am? Okay.
Look, they did the things they set out to do. Sugar just fucked up.
Okay.
So, yes, there's a bag of clothes at your door.
Then I put on my clothes, I grab my gun, and I crack the door open to see what's going on out there.
First of all, I should say these clothes, they look like what you wanted, but they just feel so good. Like they are just of a cut and a fabric, and like you didn't know clothes could feel nice.
Yeah.
Which is like an annoying thought for you given the stress of the situation, but like really they did good.
So what did they get me?
They got you like a good facsimile of what you were wearing. They just bought it from high-end places.
Okay.
So it's just like you've still got your
So it is like just like a button-down shirt, slacks.
Yeah.
And a long coat and a hat.
Yeah, I say this largely because I just bought like good sweatpants, and my God, compared to the bad sweatpants I've had, it's night and day. So like you've got the good sweatpant equivalent of your whole outfit. You crack the door and you see Mayday Malone get like bashed off the bar. A shotgun falls out of his hands. And he's just yelling, "I didn't fight in the war for this." And someone's like, "Which war, sir?" He's like, "You shut up." But at a glance, you're actually shocked to see there's a couple of agents wearing CSIS vests, which you'd expect, which is the Canadian Secret Intelligence Service. But there's also people in FBI vests, which is really fucking out of place here.
Yeah.
But there's
CSIS means like nothing to me. FBI, Everett knows because he's from
CSIS means very little to very few, which is actually one of the reasons why they're a good intelligence agency. No one's making cool shows about them. But the fact that the FBI is operating on foreign soil is of great concern. That said, aside from Mayday getting roughed up, it's early evening, so some patrons are getting like kind of thrown. There's like one of those guys who's just there being like, "Sir, calm down, stand against the wall, sir. We're not here for you." There's a couple of SWAT guys kind of positioned at the top of the stairs with rifles pointing down the stairs. But otherwise up here, there just seem to be agents now. And you can see like flashing lights outside.
We're fucked.
At least you didn't steal a baby this time, right?
Yeah. No, I just made an adult killing baby.
I mean, you know,
I'm in this office, and there's the door out to the bar. There's no other exits for me, as I understand this office. No. Then while they are still trying to get control of the situation, I figure that's the best time to move before they actually like lock it down. So I'm going to try and sneak out the door of the office and into the bar and try to hide in like the larger room.
Okay. Can you roll me please a...
Should I do a rouse check because it's a new night?
Shit. Yeah. And sorry, Ryan, I'm going to need one of those from you as well, brother.
I already did one. I passed.
Great. Well, the good news is, man, you wanted a buffet.
I also passed.
All right.
Thank goodness. So I'm only still at 3 hunger.
Only?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're looking for some kind of stealth check, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I'm going to want stealth. And I think based on what you've said, probably wits. Because this is more about picking.
I love it when you give me wits.
Shit, it's been a while. I forgot that was a good stat for you. But realistically, it seems like this would be you being like, I got to move quickly and quietly, not I'm going to, like you're just waiting for the right time in the quick time event to hit the button to survive.
Yeah. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. 4 successes.
Oh, shit. You are a leaf on the wind, sir. You managed to kind of duck out. There are a couple of bear boys too, and as soon as they see the door to the office open, they start making a ruckus and kind of like fighting back a bit, which buys you time. Would you try and get to the karaoke cabinet or the behind the bar? And I'm thinking this is like a full DJ setup, so there is enough shit that you could presumably hide behind.
I think the karaoke cabinet then.
Okay. So you kind of sneak over and crouch in there. You're completely unseen, which is great. And you've now got a better vantage point. Meanwhile, back at the condo, Iris, can you please roll me a rouse check?
Just 1 dice, right?
Yep.
Success.
Great. So you wake up to a Joey dating Rachel episode. So like that it ran too long after you fell asleep. This is a shitty thing to wake up to. But you wake up feeling pretty well rested, all things considered, and make your way out into the main room of the condo. It's been cleaned. You smell coffee on the air, which would be nice if you could, consume it. But Emily comes out with a mug that she's sort of sipping from, and she says, "Oh, it's Iris. Good morning, evening, I guess. Good to see you. Glad to see your digits are somewhat back to normal." And sure enough, looking down, your fingertips are a mess of angry red scar tissue. But it would seem that the claws have receded, as have your jaw seems to have clicked back into place. You're sore. Like it feels like you've done an exercise that you haven't done in a long time or ever. So there are just parts of your body that you didn't know could hurt that hurt. And you have the equivalent of like a horrific hangover headache. But hey, you don't have spooky nightmare hands anymore, so that's nice. And there are no voices in your head. So how are you feeling?
A little disoriented, but I feel like I've calmed down.
Oh, that's nice. I made the equivalent of a mimosa for you. It's just over there on the counter. So I understand from what I've ascertained from your scheduling that you have a rather large event this evening. Will you be joining the rest of your coterie? Was that the term?
Yes, they do have to join, even though they're going to be complete idiots at this thing.
Yes, I am afraid of that as well. In future, for these Elysium events, we should be able to actually get more information, but it would seem this is the first one from what I've heard. My pack has told me that there hasn't been one of these in Montreal for quite some time, and they're actually a little astounded that it's happening at all. There was some talk of attacking it, but I tried to talk them out of it. So, I mean, fingers crossed, she says, kind of like crossing fingers around the mug.
Well, thank you. That's terrifying and good information to know.
I mean, what am I here for if not these days for terror and information? Speaking of, I've got everyone nicely dealt with in the other room, so they're not going anywhere. I'll be staying here. Unfortunately, the full moon has passed, but one of my pack mates has some very interesting friends. So he dropped these off, and she just pats like a case full of guns. And she's like, so I'll be more than able to hold the fort until if you want to bring the coterie back around, maybe after the party or tomorrow, you can question the attackers. I got some information out of them, but it's just so hard to hear when they're screaming that much,
Emily, you're the fucking best.
Oh, thanks, Iris. I missed you too. In any case, you don't want to be late for a party. If they're going to make as many etiquette failures as I suspect they will, you'll be wanting to get on your way fairly soon. I've got your outfit all ready for you. Enjoy your mimosa. I'm going to go take a quick nap, but if there's anything you need, feel free to wake me up. That's how our relationship works.
No, you go ahead. Have your nap. The only thing I'm going to need in the little bit of distant future is if that snack room starts to get noisy again, we might need to soundproof that a little bit.
Oh, excellent. Yes, soundproofing. That's a wonderful plan. I will get right on that. Also, I'm afraid I have to inform you that your doorman is dead. I'm not sure if you had a relationship with him. There was some police who stopped by earlier, but I made sure to give them a very sad, shocked lady who just kind of woke up and like you ruined my lifetime movie moment, and I think they bought it.
How did he die?
It would seem that the gentleman who came a-calling shot him.
Fuck.
Yes, we might want to look at getting you a different condo, Iris.
That might be a good idea. We might need to distance ourselves from this location.
But in the meantime, I'm going to buy a bunch of egg cartons.
Amazing.
And then she just raises the coffee and goes to your guest room, which is probably the snack room. So she's just going to go sleep in there. She like puts like she like kind of like very quickly with one leg kind of like kicks the gun box under her arm so she doesn't spill her coffee. She just nods to you and then goes into the snack room.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I probably start getting ready. I might text probably Everett, knowing that Ridley won't be able to read it.
It is weird that you've become the keeper of secrets for this group. You know that Everett eats vampires and that Ridley is illiterate, but the other two don't know each other's shit yet. That's fun. Okay, so yeah, taking your time though, getting ready, making sure you're doing.
Yeah, I'm not feeling great, so I'm taking it easy. Like, I'm not rushing that much, but like I am getting ready.
I was mostly asking because I wanted to figure out if and when you show up in this other scene, but it sounds like you get there after. So fair enough. So you decide to get ready. What is the overall look you're going for tonight?
I'm going full red carpet, so it's going to be a lot. Okay.
Cool. So you spend the time like really doing the best job you can.
With my scarred, stubby fingers.
Well, they're not stubby. Like, they've grown back to your normal fingers. It's just they're covered in like blood bruising.
Great. It's great for makeup.
Hey, you just wear silk gloves or something. It's cool. I've seen award shows. Meanwhile, back at Maydays, with no outside assist from spooky murder vampire, Ridley, seemingly clowns from the FBI and CSIS have rushed in SWAT gear. In the basement with you, you've got Harvey, you've got Chonky. Unfortunately, you don't have Dederick because he went to get stuff from his place. But we'll be joining
he wouldn't
him.
do well here.
I doubt it. There aren't any other Bear Boys down here because they were doing other things. What do you do?
Is there like a freight exit? Because I imagine we'd hear them come in the front door.
Yes, they're like rushing the stairs. The surveillance guy is just grinning ear to ear.
Cool. Then I think what he'd do is grab the surveillance guy by the throat and start using him as a shield towards the stairs and just book it for the freight exit if there's some back door where he can get the people in the basement out.
Okay, great. So as soon as you do that, Seymour's like, wait, what? And you start dragging him out the back. A team comes kind of like into the basement sorry, I guess you're saying you're doing this as you hear them blow the entrance, right?
Yeah, his first instinct would be grab the guy human shield, be all, everybody get the fuck out, don't say anything, out the fucking door. Like, just move.
So everyone gets up. Levine is like, hey, like, am I coming too? And Chunky just like throws him over his shoulder. And they start booking
finally someone reliable.
You start booking for the exit, which is when you hear the telltale tink, tink, tink of metal on stairs. Before the grenade goes off, Ridley, what do you do?
I would like to throw the guy I'm carrying onto the grenade.
Yep. I'm going to need probably an athletics and strength.
Good stats for Ridley.
They're all right. They're not the best. They're not the worst. Oh, what a weird spread. Okay, I've got one success, but it's a 10. I don't know if that makes any difference.
If it's just one, it doesn't.
Dope.
So you lob him at the grenade, but it's a bit awkward because you were like sprinting out the back. So it's more of like a kind of turnaround and awkward toss.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, not the best. He hits the ground near the grenade, and the grenade goes off. And there's a brilliant blast of light. And you realize that it wasn't, in fact, an incendiary grenade.
Oh, no. I figured it was going to be.
It was, in fact, what you would probably identify as a flashbang. That is until you hear Chonky and Harvey begin to scream and feel your own skin begin to burn as the light of the sun fills up the small room. You know, Ridley, if there's one thing your old mum used to say about how much the weather sucked back in England, there were just those days when the clouds would break and you'd just have a proper blue sky. And those are the days, if she wasn't working, she'd always take you to the park and tell you, Jesus, I don't know if I can remember this voice, but Right now, Ridley, you remember from your old mum, it's always good to appreciate the sunlight and all the vitamins it gives you. So always try and enjoy it. Ridley's the name I think you should have, but you don't have yet.
It sounded like Ridley in his head now because he's so in character, but in memory it was Richard. So it's close.
Yep. And then she'd pat you on the head and give you a bonbon. And then point out people around the playground who she thinks you could probably beat up, just to help build your self-confidence, and knowing that it's a rough neighborhood. Today, however, despite trying to make a habit of not disagreeing with your old mum, the sunlight is not a great blessing. It is, in fact, a curse. So the sunlight grenade goes off. You feel your flesh begin to burn. Now, the good news is, because you threw Seymour Wainer at it, he has blocked it from you slightly. Not entirely, but a bit. What is your current Bane rating? Or Bane severity?
I'm Ventru, so it's just I can't eat stuff.
Right. You should actually have a number, though, based on your... it'll be based on your generation, which I can also look up for you.
I am a 13th generation, 13th but generation. I only know that.
Okay. Well, just give me a second to pull up your Bane. Because basically, sunlight will burn based on the Bane severity of the generation of...
I know my blood potency, but I don't know my Bane whatever.
Yeah.
Is that why you get thin blood daywalkers?
Yeah, because it won't burn them.
Why, book, would you not include Bane severity? I ask you. I demand.
It's almost like they didn't include it in character creation, which is why we didn't write it down. Fuckers.
All right, 1 second. It's on page 214, apparently. So I'm flipping pages real quick.
Nice.
Just that sweet, how badly do you burn action? Very important.
Very important.
Okay, I've got blood potency.
It appears that Bane severity equals half of the blood potency rounded up.
Hey, good man.
2.
All right. So 1. So you'll take 1 point.
No, I mean, it's 2 divided in half rounded up. It was 3.
Okay, great. So you're going to take 2 points of... because you threw Seymour Wainer at it. You're going to take 1 point of aggravated damage. Unfortunately, Harvey and Chonky have no such protection, and will each take 2. Is that right?
Yeah, if I've got protection, then it goes to 1, then they take 2 each.
Yeah. Sorry. Harvey takes 2. Chonky only seems to take 1. He kind of yells like, ow! But Harvey's like, oh, god damn! I feel like an armadillo in the middle of the road, or some equally appropriate cuss word for burning.
And I just yelled, I'm like, get out of fucking back door!
They're all running. They're all running for the back door.
I think I'll keep yelling it
running for the back door.
I think he'll just keep yelling it. He doesn't like that they're talking.
Great. So you're all booking it towards the back door. As soon as the grenade goes off.
And Ridley would, I think, at this point have activated vampire toughness if he knows he's going to get shot. Yeah.
They're armored SWAT guys coming down, and just immediately, just a hail of gunfire follows. They're doing a proper spray the room action. Ridley, as you're sprinting, are you trying to cover Harvey and Chonky, or are you just trying to get the fuck out of Dodge?
This is everybody get the fuck out. I'm more injured than them, actually, so he's trying to get the fuck out.
Gotcha. Okay, so I need athletics and probably strength again for just like fucking sprinting for the exit. Meanwhile, as you're rolling that, Everett, you hear a bang from downstairs, and then the sound of gunfire. Also, your pocket is buzzing.
I'll grab the phone.
It is a much nicer phone. Good work, Bear Boys. It's a text message from Iris. Iris, what would you have sent to Everett? Would you tell him the whole story? Would this be like a call me when you can? What do you tell him?
Oh, can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry. It would be something important happened last night. I'll tell you later. But just be prepared where things are going down.
All caps response. Mayday's under siege. FBI and CSIS need help.
Well, what? I just respond back. What the fuck?
You can tell that she's actually concerned because she typed the whole thing rather than the WTF. Tyler, I like to imagine that that Everett, Jesus, now I'm doing it, had a full like Harrison Ford realizing he has to go back for something like grumble, eye roll, like
yeah. I've snuck myself into a corner, right? Because it's the DJ booth, the karaoke like DJ setup. But for the moment, I appear to be safe here. I'm assuming the bar is not safe enough for like cover and concealment. But if I poke my head out, what do I see going on in here?
So there are a few Bear Boys being arrested, who are kind of like thrown up against a wall, and being roughed up. There are a few customers. Malone himself is unconscious now. They've like knocked him out. But for what it's worth, the Bear Boys are still doing what you would expect a level 3 biker gang would do, Ryan. You see, they do have value, which is
to me.
They're whenever they can, they're creating they're basically just creating as much ruckus as they can while being arrested, to kind of buy you as much space as they can, presumably Ridley as well. They're limited in that they've been like the ones who are here have clearly been caught unawares and or overwhelmed by the breach and bang. But they're still doing whatever they can to make it reckless, which will give you an advantage when trying to stealth around. It's going to lower the difficulty of your checks.
Yeah, this is a dumb question, but the speakers for the DJ booth, are they is it just speakers right at the booth, or are the speakers all around the bar for music?
I think all around the bar. After the Mad Martha incident, and realizing that the people who saved him kind of like karaoke, he really came around on the whole thing and has invested heavily.
Okay. Then I just want to turn the volume up to the max for maximum sound coverage to like cover the sound of me moving around. And I'll play a song and try and move out.
So you just bash go on the DJ equipment. What song plays?
It's not a choice. Again, it was just like play whatever, but fuck the police comes on.
Yeah, it's a big request in this area of Montreal.
Yeah.
Okay, so the speakers begin to just blast fuck the police. And immediately like everyone kind of jolts because, as you know, from a professional grade sound system in a small-ish dank bar, it's far too loud.
Yeah.
And it's also karaoke track, so it's just like fuck the police, but just like a weird shitty MIDI cover. So it's even more unsettling because you know what it's supposed to sound like, but it doesn't. So everyone is visibly jarred. Were you going to use this just to distract everyone, or were you using this to specifically get somewhere?
I was trying to make a move. Yeah.
Okay. Go for it.
I'm looking to. Because the guys that were standing at the door at the basement went down, right?
Yes.
So I'm looking to go down behind them.
Oh, okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So, Pulp Fiction style, like you're Butch walking around with that katana, you just start like creeping down the stairs, and you see 4 SWAT guys just fucking like spraying the room. You can see Ridley mid sprint with Chonky seems to be kind of dragging Harvey, whose skin is on fire, and just kind of like smoking and crisping. Ryan, what did you roll on your check?
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, so you see Ridley like leading the charge out towards the what's probably like the loading dock for like kegs and that sort of business. What do you do?
Right. Okay. I see that they're escaping, which is good, but they're also being shot at. So I will sneak down the stairs to the SWAT guy that's like furthest up in the stairway, the guy that I'm closest to. I'm just going to reach in front of him, pull the pin on a grenade, flash, smoke, frag, whatever. I'm just going to push him down the stairs as hard as I can. I'm going to turn around and run out the other way.
Okay. Amazing. Ridley, as you book it to the exit, you hear like, oh, damn, man, as an agent stumbles down the stairs, and then you just hear him shout like, tabernacle, and another sunlight grenade goes off. So, oof. Ryan, you're gonna need to leap for that door, bud. Give me athletics and stamina.
Stamina?
Oh, Dex,
Cool.
actually, yeah. Let's go Dex because you're throwing yourself through the door. I got to roll for some other people.
2 successes.
Okay. So you're going to take 1 point of aggravated.
Okay.
But you burst through the door into the back alley. So Chonky stumbles out after you, and the two of you look up to hear people shouting like, get on the ground! On either side of this alleyway are squad cars that have blocked it off on both sides. And there are cops moving out with guns. Now, the good news is they aren't the SWAT guys. These are clearly the backup. So they look a little squishier. They're wearing like tactical vests, but they're not in full armor. Chonky just mutters like, fuck, I could really go for a cat right about now. Oh no, I could go for fancy people. He turns around, he's like, you, and just like bites into the side of the skater boy. And he's like, see you later, boy. And he throws him to one side and he just starts charging one of the cars. Ryan, what do you do?
Oh, he's just going to follow the same direction. This is just break through the encirclement. No question. So full, like Deadpool burnt looking, like loping werewolf run, just monster human.
And beside you have like big guy in a Final Fantasy game run where it's just like gut out, arms and legs to the side, just like plowing forward. Okay, awesome. So you're just charging the car?
Yeah. I think Ridley, knowing his style, will be going for the full body spear into the vehicle for the first cop he can get his hands on if they're in front of it.
Okay, amazing. Iris, you received an email or a text message saying that all of this was going down. I assume you kind of bolt for the door, or what do you think Iris would do?
I mean, I am no longer dangerous. So I don't know how much use I could be. So I think I'm probably starting to rack my brain about what I can do at this point.
So then can you roll me? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I would first go searching through that box of guns.
Mm-hmm. So the good news is that because they're like a box of illicit firearms, that someone who doesn't really know how to use guns and can't use two hands to like steady like an assault weapon could wield. Everything's pretty cheerful. So we're talking like small caliber submachine guns and the sorts of things you could use one-handed, which incidentally are things that Iris, I think you would probably feel comfortable with. There's no like giant honking like fucking assault rifles. It's more like, an Uzi or a pistol. Would you take a pistol or an automatic, do you think?
Automatic.
Or a sawed-off shotgun?
Probably an automatic.
Okay.
If they're under siege, I want the quickest pain as possible. Okay.
So I think in one of those classic, like vaguely miscongeniality style montages, it's not like, hell yeah, give me the guns. It's just like fucking belt across, guns in the belt, ammo in the belt. Like, fuck.
I'd probably put on some badass lipstick too. There's time for that.
I understand. There's always time for lipstick. Do you fill Emily in on what's going on?
I was also going to say I unfortunately probably have to wake up Emily to see if she can send any help.
And she wakes up. She's like, "Oh no! Well, that sounds terrible. Unfortunately, due to some recent murders in the werewolf community by kindred, they're kind of not exactly on speaking terms right now. So I feel like that would just make things worse if I sent them. Apparently, someone tore out someone's heart, and apparently she was kind of a big deal. So there's some like real bad blood there. There's a whole hunt going on. Anyway, it's messy. So like, probably not the best to call the vamps or the wolves. Okay, but wow. Okay, you look badass. Good job. You look like you're gonna kick some ass and take some names. That's nice. Good lipstick color. B, do you? I mean, I can't call the wolves, but do you have anyone you can call?
Well, if you don't mind calling the Bouchard brothers for me.
You want me to call the Bouchards? Yeah, I can absolutely do that. So they're the only vampire reinforcements you have?
It's very leading, Tom. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm a DM.
There's also a woman named Azaria that if you could give her a call or shoot her an email or a text, she might be able to come and help us out.
Okay. I will message Miss Tyrell. Excellent. Well, good luck with your siege. Don't get killed. I don't know if you can die or not. And you're feeling okay from, I mean, you don't have your claws anymore. Do you know what happened there?
No, and I don't really have time to figure it out right now, Em.
Okay. All right. Can you roll me, Miles, I'm going to say insight and intelligence. Miles is rolling.
4.
4 successes?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, Miles, I need you to roll did you roll a rouse check already today?
Yeah, I did.
You did, okay.
I passed.
I just want you to have hunger again. It's always funny when Iris fails. Usually very funny things happen. Okay, so 4 successes. It occurs to you that Drac was responsible for your kind of feral mode. And despite what the people who attacked you said, you seem to be able to weather it and control it in a way they weren't expecting. So theoretically, if you were to dose yourself with Drac again, you could likely recreate the feral effect.
Do we have any?
You're asking me, Tom the Keeper, but I'm going to assume you're asking Emily, the character I also play. I
just don't remember if we
well, I think again, like for argument's sake, as the idea occurs to you, you ask Emily, and she produces a couple vials from the tied up, now like stripped down to his very unimpressive tactical like boxer briefs and stained singlet, just looking real rough. Emily has not been kind in the feeding room. But she produces 2 vials. Just be careful. Don't do hard drugs. That's kind of been our rule for a long time.
Okay, I will. Thank you. This may come in handy.
Great. So Miles, if you want to mark down on your sheet, you have 2 doses of Drac.
Okay. Great.
And with that, you go and wait for your Dinkeldorf cab to arrive.
Meet.
I'm just so happy that the Dinkeldorf Cab Company is something that exists in our world. But in slightly less rosy news, Tyler, you've ran away from the man you pushed down the stairs with a grenade. You hear shouts of confusion. You hear gunfire. You hear a couple of very human screams. It would seem that your distraction caused a lot of chaos downstairs. That said, as you kind of run back up the stairs, the agents who have been kind of trying to arrest the Bear Boys turn. Can you roll me or actually, Ryan, I'm going to get you to do this. Can you roll me a strength and brawl check, please? On behalf of our sweet, sweet Bear Boys.
That is 4 successes with 2 10s, one of which is on a hunger die. They're not Ridley, but that is a messy successy.
Indeed, a messy successy.
It's someone who's not me, so I can't do the full voice.
I understand. That's why I'm saying it in a very academic way. It is indeed a messy successy. So as the agents who, again, are just like the FBI agents who are like the really trained like investigators who are just wearing those stupid windbreakers, as they kind of turn and kind of reach for their guns, the Bear Boys leap into action. And I gotta say, like, big dudes, biker types in a small dank bar, this is their favored terrain. So they just fucking destroy these guys. And as soon as they get weapons, they're like rushing to the front door and just like wild firing out of it to try and keep people away from the entrance. And they're just like, we'll say it's Jean-Luc, because we've established he's very capable. So Jean-Luc Picard turns around and says, "Oh, yes, number one. It would seem there is quite a disturbance happening here. I will hold down the door as long as I can. Perhaps go help Mr. Beef downstairs."
Right. Mr. Beef hightailed it out of there through the cellar door with the other kindred.
Very good, sir. Shall we make a hole?
Yeah. What about you guys, though? Look, I think I might be able to sneak out of here. I don't know about you. You're shooting at the FBI.
Honestly, just another day on the job for us. We're the Bear Boys, sir.
What the fuck kind of biker gang is this?
The kind that shoots at cops. So if you want to try and sneak out, they can provide distraction to give you advantage, or they can try and make a hole. Which do you want?
Well, was this explosion upstairs, which was ground level, right?
Yes. So that was them breaching the door.
Breaching the door. Okay.
Blew the door open, flashbangs in, swept the room. Unfortunately, there were no vampires up here, so it was just like sunlight. Everyone's like, "Ow, my eyes!" and then just full drive through.
I'm gonna take off my long coat, put on the FBI jacket of one of these guys that have been beaten up by the Bear Boys and had their weapons taken.
Tyler, I gotta tell you, it was a messy successy. They weren't beaten up. They are pulpy dead. You're taking a pulpy dead lawman's windbreaker.
Okay, so I can, like, is it still a jacket or is it just
it's clean?
Fucked?
Just given your moral code, I want you to be aware that you're taking it off a dead agent of the law.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have nightmares about that for the rest of my life, but in this moment, I need to get out. So
because it was a messy success, like just watermelon heads, just crack, splat, splat.
I don't understand this world. I thought I understood the world of humans, but these humans pulped the heads of FBI agents.
Tyler, these were humans that Ridley Beef found and said, "I like you a lot. You work for me now."
These are level 3 humans. These are proficient humans.
They're so proficient. One more level up, and they're just the government. Level 4 biker gang, just gonna bail out Wall Street.
I was say, actually, one more level up, they're a private military contractor. Jesus Christ. You have Blackwater as one more dot.
Blackwater if you're lucky, like fucking Foxhound if you're not.
I'll put on a dead guy's coat, hang his badge around my neck. I'll pick up another dead guy, and I will basically run out the door, like carrying him.
Oh, Tyler, I love you so much, buddy. That's great. Lose a point of humanity for me, bud, and out the door you go.
Great. I've got 2 strikes through humanity. I've got a strike through 2 boxes of humanity. Do you want me to fill in one that struck out, or just lose a full one?
Just add a strike to another one.
Okay, another strike. Okay.
Yep.
Tom, the fans are going to riot. They're going to hate you. They're going to be like, they're supposed to have a night off.
Actually, shockingly, they eat this shit up, and I hate it. I hate that they like my pain.
You know what your night off is? It's called Mythos Mysteries. Bad things are happening all the time, but at like 10% less some of the time. I was going to say Valentine, but like that ain't a night off. One Shots is on hiatus. That's your night off. All right, so you burst out of the door into the Montreal night. A heavy rain is falling, and there are 2 SWAT vans have pulled up. There's cars. There's a clear perimeter. There aren't that many cops out here. It seems like a lot of them came in. Also, Everett, to your eye, this looks like a very hasty operation. And you don't know this, but we, the audience, do. Given that the surveillance technician was like picked up by luck, not as part of an operation, they had to scramble pretty quick to put this together. So they seem understaffed, if that makes sense.
Is there an ambulance or paramedic?
There isn't, but as soon as you come out, I think they're calling for one.
Yeah. I'm basically shouting, like I'm basically just falling back on like my legitimate like police training at this point. And it's just, I would just say like, we got men down in there, and I like just like haul this corpse like past the police line to me.
So you can actually speak English to these guys, which is delightful. And your accent kind of works because it's clearly an international collaboration. Go ahead and roll me, please, manipulation. And I think
these are my strongest stats. Let me get my 1 die for manipulation.
Yeah, that's good.
Would it be composure, his ability to keep it together while carrying a dead man?
Actually,
I don't think it can...
based on what he said, and this is going to sound like I'm bringing the roll in your favor, but I'm going to give you investigation because you don't actually have to play this part. You are literally carrying a man you would ideally like to see get an ambulance. Also, you didn't see the sunlight grenade, so you have no hint of Inquisition at all. Yeah. So for you, these are just cops. So weirdly, I don't think you're lying to anyone. I think you're literally just yelling what you would yell if your partner had been shot.
Except you've told me that I already know these guys are completely destroyed. So I know I am hauling a corpse and I'm just using it.
Fair enough. Okay, well, you just talked yourself out of a roll there, Holmes.
I mean, this game always goes in my favor anyway, so fuck it, right?
Yeah, great. Yeah. Fuck it. We're doing it live. Okay, then in that case, I agree, Ryan. I would take so we'll say composure rather than manipulation, and then I'm going to say subterfuge.
Okay.
Or persuasion. You can pick whichever one you want.
Doesn't matter.
Great.
I'm just rolling 3 hunger dice. Two successes.
I'm so sad that that's how that played out, not more dramatically. So you start calling for medic, and like the 2 scared patrol people outside are like, "Oh shit!" And like one of them grabs, like, "Agent down!" And then like looks around, and is kind of like, "I don't know if it's one of ours or one of theirs, but either way, send an ambulance. Maybe help." Shit.
This guy sounds like Cesis.
You get the sense that this guy might just be a Montreal cop who's here with all of them. And as you yell that, people immediately like rush up to take the agent off your shoulder. And it's just like,
I'm fine. Take him. He needs help.
And as they like do like CPR and stuff like that, Everett tries to just like fade away into the night.
You almost do until you hit the patrol cars, at which point
just like,
yeah, you just knock cars in every direction.
It's that Meet Joe Black scene of just like the car goes by and Everett gets hit and then hits another car and it keeps going.
You reach the cars only to have a voice just say, "Oh God damn it, Everett." And you turn to see Billy Kincaid half holding her gun up at you with a look of just absolute horror on her face.
Sergeant Kincaid.
Everett Fry. Can you tell me why you're wearing an FBI jacket, Everett?
Dress for the job you want.
She shoots you in the head. Outside, Ryan, you are saber-toothing alongside Chonky. Just a proper father-nephew run at these poor keep an eye on the back door cops. Go ahead and roll me strength and brawl.
That is 3 successes.
All right. Describe to me how you destroy this patrol officer who is holding a shaky revolver at you.
Yeah, I think it's sprinting forwards, and then he manages to reach up with one hand and just shove the gun up, and the other hand he just pulls a leg up, and then it's just crunching the guy into the frame of the car, and then turning around, just kind of throwing him over the shoulder. Like, it's just bam, fireman carry down onto the concrete. Okay, amazing. Beside you, Chonky just runs up and just like full on just shoulder rushes the guy. He gets shot twice. You get shot once, but human bullets out of a small caliber. What are you going to do? So Chonky smashes the guy against a wall and just starts pummeling him. Just saying, so, and he's just, as he continues to punch, he's like, so getting shot doesn't kill us, I guess? I mean, don't kill him, put him in a fucking car, but no, it's pretty dope. He'll go around and see if there's like keys in the ignition of the police car. Yeah, they're ready to roll. Great. Then he'll grab his guy if he's still whatever and just chuck him in the back anyways. And then they just peel out. Like, fuck this place. Gone. Great. If Harv's there, Harv's in too. Yeah. We wouldn't Harv is not there. Harv was never mentioned getting out of the building. We don't know what happened to Harv. Nope. We'll deal with that later then. He's just driving. Go. Great. Everett. Billy shoots you in the head. So go ahead and take 3 points of superficial damage.
I don't have enough squares to do 3 points of superficial damage.
Superficial is one line through, and X eliminates a square. So you go over by one line, and then cross
I go
them
back.
Off. Yeah.
Okay.
Superficial becomes aggravated as it keeps adding up.
Okay. Then I have enough.
So the bullet hits you in the forehead, and I think by instinct you fall backward and hit the ground. What do you do?
I can think and make decisions.
Dude, you're a fucking kindred. You got shot in the head by a human weapon. It hurts.
Rouse the blood to just pump blood out of the hole in my head?
Oh, shit. Yeah, if you're going to try and pretend that killed you, go for it.
For now, that's a fail. So okay. I do it, but I'm hungry?
Yes.
Okay.
So blood begins to just fucking pump out of the wound in your head, and you just hear Billy go, oh, God. Oh, my God, no. No. And she, like, sort of starts to stumble backwards. She drops her gun, and she's like, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. And then behind here, you hear a voice just say, "Oh no, Billy, what have you done?" And she goes, "I thought he was one of you." And the voice just says, "Well, Billy, you just killed a man." And she just starts to weep, and he says, "Don't worry, I'll clean this up. Just get out of here." And she just like weeping, like starts like punching the hood of the car, and just starts screaming obscenities and kind of like walking away. And then you hear a voice just kind of lean over and say, "All right, listen, laddie, I'm going to need you to stay real fucking quiet here. All right? Playing a bit of a long game, and I'm going to need you to kind of pretend you're dead.
Glurgle glug."
You feel a hand just like pat the side of your face. He's like, that'll do. And then strong hands start dragging you away from the scene. You've all successfully made it out of Mayday Malone's, especially you, Iris.
Yeah, I show up and then I just like kind of link
You're in
backwards.
A cab covered in machine guns.
And then I see that like everything is like not fine, but I can't find you anywhere. So I just kind of like close the door to the cab again?
Yeah, we're not entirely done with your scene, Miles. I was making a joke, but yeah. So you pull up, like the cab screeches up. You boot open the door. You look out and you see that like a couple of bear boys are being arrested. The bar seems to be fully under like a police lockdown. And yeah, you just kind of like ease back into the cab. And I assume where would you give it directions to take you? To Elysium?
But like,
We have a party to get to.
I know, but here's the problem. Everett told me they needed help, and clearly they still need help. From what I can see, like I think they're probably arrested or dead.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to weigh if I would just take the Draken and kill everybody. Because I don't know that any of them are safe. Honestly.
So what do you do?
I know. I'm trying to.
Iris Dunn, the woman who wanted nothing to do with these idiots, has come to realize that her only family in the world is Emily and these idiots.
These dumb fucking idiots.
Looking at the vial of Drac in your hands, knowing that your only chance to survive vampire society is perhaps with these two incredible enforcers at your side. Iris Dunn, what do you do? Iris, you look down into your hand. You look outside at Mayday Malone, surrounded by squad cars and police. You see the Bear Boys, some of the Bear Boys being arrested. You know your friends are inside and under threat. And you look at the vial of Drac in your hand, ignoring the like pair of Uzis that are kind of like cutting into your underboob in an uncomfortable way, like an underwire. What do you do?
I take a deep breath and I take the Drac.
So, gents, feel free to smoke them if you got them, because I think we have ourselves an Iris Dunn episode.
Why do I not feel any more relaxed?
Iris, you throw back. You taking one vial or two?
More than one.
I think I need to take both of them if I'm going to do this.
I had not considered that.
We have a variation on a soda stream called a Sparkle that you pour like chemical packets into to make the fizzies. And today the first one didn't work, so I had to put in two. And oh boy, did I have a super fizzy beverage after. So I've just been thinking about how effective doubling the dose of something is.
So dare I say this? Does Iris sparkle a la Twilight?
No.
Does double Drac yield Twilight sparkle?
No.
What, because of the sparkling water bit? I don't think so.
Yep. Look at Tom.
Look, I'm not going to say it does, but I'm not going to say it doesn't. In the same way that, like, it never says that Dorothy's slippers are ruby slippers, but the movie made them ruby slippers. So now when you think of those slippers, you assume they're ruby colored. So I'm not going to say she sparkles.
Magical girl Iris Dunn transformation sequence.
She is the one. Iris Dunn.
And all years like, yeah, a horrifying monster lunges out.
Emily is her tuxedo mask. Honestly, I'm kind of into this version of this story. All right, so Iris, you throw back 2 vials of Drac, and for a second, your vision clouds, and you find yourself in the same mental space you were when you tried to become a blood god that one time. But you kind of have a moment almost of like falling back into that, and then you stand up and kind of straighten up, lower your head, and just start stalking forward out of it. And then suddenly you find yourself fresh air and rain hitting your face. You're wearing like there's some kind of weird outfit that you're shrugging off. Like there's just something kind of a little bit uncomfortable. And as you kind of shrug your shoulders, you hear heavy metal hit the ground. And looking down through kind of a pulsing blood red haze, you see the door of a cab fall off your shoulder. As your limbs begin to pop and twist, and you can feel them elongating. It's no longer just your fingers, it's your forearms and your arms and your legs. You feel your knees invert. It's uncomfortable, but suddenly you feel very grounded and suddenly very able to move. As you stalk towards a number of cops who are turning and looking up at you, which is odd because a lot of people don't look up at you, and kind of doing that classic like Godzilla thing where they look up a little bit and start to shake with guns. You hear the voice in your head again say, "Oh, you're back already? Oh, wow. You know, the first time we met, I kind of assumed that you weren't looking for this, but you're looking for this?
I need this right now."
Oh, good. Let's go to work. Iris, give yourself the temporary boosts we had talked about previously to strength, brawl. You doubled your dosage on this one, so I'm also going to give it to you for melee and...
So you gave me, I put my strength up to 4, my brawl up to 2, so then melee up to...
So you put your brawl up to 2?
Well, I had none beforehand.
Yeah. But you've doubled your dose. So put your strength to 5, your brawl to 4, and your melee to 4.
Okay.
I'm going to need you to lose, fully block out 1 point of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have disadvantage on mental checks.
Okay.
Because you're raging. So Iris, having fully become the spooky monster who shows up at the end of movies, there are 3 squad cars in front of you and a few terrified police officers raising guns. What do you do?
How aware am I? Am I full rage, or do I have some
this time
reasoning?
This time you actually have reasoning.
Okay.
For a couple of reasons. So you have disadvantage on mental stuff only because like you are super jacked up. And think of this again as like a caffeine rush rather than like being drunk or something. It's like just a full blast of like energy and power.
Can I toss a cab?
So you burst out of the cab. So the cab is wrecked behind you. If you want to toss a squad car, you can attempt to.
Yeah, I'm probably going to try to toss a squad car in their general direction without trying to hit them. I just want, like, they're police officers. I don't feel like they have anything to do with this. So I kind of want to get them out of the way.
I gotcha. Okay. So you are currently standing about 7 feet tall. But you've kind of got vaguely Slender Man proportions in that your arms are very long, your neck is slightly elongated, your jaw has dropped out again to the large fangs. That said, all of this is happening pretty quickly, so you're not quite there yet. It's kind of happening as you move. If you're going to want to toss a squad car, I'm going to say that's athletics and strength. I'm not going to give you bonuses to athletics only because you've gotten better at slashing and killing. That doesn't necessarily mean you're better at like sports.
Coordination.
Exactly. Yeah. In fact, coordination's probably a pretty big problem for you right now.
2. Oh, that's 3 successes.
Yeah, I mean that works for throwing a car. So you get your spindly hands under it. And you just flip the cop car up. I'm going to roll for them to dodge. We'll see how they do. Well, I'm rolling this. Actually, no, that's too much for me to roll and also narrate. Okay, so 2 of them get out of the way. One of them gets hit fairly squarely by the car.
That's okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is and it isn't. So I rolled a d6 to determine which of these cops was Billy Kincaid. On a 1 or 2, the cop who gets hit by the car is Billy Kincaid. And my friends, that's a hot 1.
You don't know who Billy Kincaid is?
No, she has no clue who that is.
I don't know who he is.
So one cop just gets like clocked by the car and sort of crushed under it as the car rolls away. But the rest scatter. The bear boys who are against the wall do that like hilarious perp run thing where their hands are handcuffed behind them, but they like start kicking and running. There's just kind of mass chaos, and you hear gunshots from inside. So you begin to stalk your way inside. Meanwhile, on the police scanner in the squad car, Ridley, are you driving or is Chonky driving? You're driving, I think.
Ridley would drive, yeah.
Right. So over the police radio, you hear kind of like almost there seems to be a hymn playing over the radio, and you hear someone just say, "Hello, this is Sister Valerium Canpos. It would seem our operation has become slightly more complicated, which is most unfortunate, but it would truly please the Lord and all of us here at the Institute if you would kindly send any sympathetic units to this particular address. It would seem things are getting rather messy, which is most unfortunate. So all available units in our particular diocese, if you could please make your way there and put down any remaining abominations, that would be most appreciated. Praise be, and good luck."
So I think at this point, Ridley just like pulls over with a screech. And he's like, "Oh, fucking ass. Fight it, fucking Everett." Because he would assume if he heard there's still an abomination on site, it's Everett probably trying to like save police lives and be classy. So he's like, "Fucking hell, we got away and everything." And he looks to the cop in the back because I'm imagining the one that he fought is dead, right?
Oh, yeah. But the one Chonky beat up is just in rough shape.
Cool. How big are these cops, Tom? Is it possible to do an outfit switcheroo?
Yeah, but you'd look like me when I was still trying to get away with large button-ups. So, like, you can do it, but you're going to have some of them poppy buttons.
What about Chonky?
Chonky's bigger than you.
I know. That's why I was checking. Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. All right. So, yeah, he'll fucking get out the back and he'll, like, put on the dead guy's clothes when he's talking to the other guy.
Well,
like,
Chonky, like, sort of, like, raises a hand. And Chonky's also a little bit fucked up because he's still relatively new at this. He says, wait, sir, are you trying to dress up as a cop to go back there and try and sweet talk him?
Well, I wouldn't say sweet talk. I'd say, maybe ultra violence. We'll see.
Listen, the boys are pretty good at ultra violence. We got a bunch of us just out there patrolling. Why don't we call them in?
Okay, yeah, okay, fucking you call them if you've got a phone. I got white pants. That's all I fucking got. Yeah, well, here's the thing. As long as they didn't start killing anyone, this whole thing can kind of go away. But the moment they start fucking killing people, we have to kill fucking everyone. And then we got to disappear.
Sir, I think that's what I'm suggesting. All the boys would die for you and what you've done for this neighborhood. Do we want to send them in?
Fucking hell.
They can make it look like it's, we've been hanging around the bar a bunch. We can make it seem like it was us. Maybe buy you guys some time to move, and then all we need to do is come up with an alternate identity and rejoin you somewhere else.
Yeah, fucking do it. We got to get everybody out. But make sure TJ gets out okay? That fucking old cunt didn't ask for none of this.
Yeah, and he just pulls out a burner phone and looks at it and says, sir, we're your gang. You want to make the call?
Oh, fuck, yeah, I will. All right, punch it in and then we'll talk to the boys.
So he punches in, it's an iPhone, so he like hits like a merge call and it just keeps hitting merge call. So this is going to take another second here. It just keeps hitting merge call.
Ridley's trying to shove himself into pants that don't quite fit.
Yeah, he's like, all right, sir, sorry for the dicks. That's usually how I keep track of everybody. Here you go. And you look at a merged call phone, and like, admittedly, a lot of the profile pictures are people's junk, but it's all very impressive.
I like it. Hello, boys. It's the Riddler. This is one of those calls you hope you never have to make, but things went to shit. Everett's all fucked. Fucking TJ's in shit, and we're surrounded by fucking coppers. And fucking weird, Jesus-loving, fucking vampire-murdering arseholes. So what I need you to do is the fucking big ugly. I need everyone to go in there. We need to wipe out the fucking corpus, and everybody needs to go to fucking ground. We'll pull the boys back together through Chonky. He knows where you're at. I'm going to tell him to fucking disappear because he knows how to find you. We'll make a new version. You ain't going to be the Bear Boys. You're going to be something fucking better, and I'm going to find you so much fucking money. We're all going to the fucking Bahamas, boys, but let's send some men to hell before we get there. Fucking do it.
And then he just like hangs up.
And like a single tear of blood rolls down Chonky's, and then he wipes it and like he reaches up to his forehead and there's like blood from the guy beat up. He's like, "Oh yeah, still not used to not being able to cry, but that was beautiful, man."
Oh no, I love you, Chonky. You handsome bastard. All right, take the phone and you got to disappear. I can't lose you in this battle. You're the only one who knows how to find the boys.
All right, sir. I'll find you. Don't And he like takes a deep breath and he's like, I know he's kind of like my dad now or something weird like that, but don't die for Everett. Got a bad feeling about that guy.
That is a very good reminder, my friend. All right, now you get out of here. And you.
He just turns to the cop in the back fucking seat who's just sitting there and he's like,
Who the fuck was that lady on the radio? And what the fuck is going on? You got 3 seconds for answers.
And he looks at you with wide eyes. And Ryan, I'm going to need you to roll a intimidation and manipulation, please. Meanwhile, Iris, you burst through now there's no door on TJ Malone's anymore. Mm-hmm. You burst in, having to duck a little bit to get through the door. And there are a bunch of sort of like heavily armored SWAT guys. There's about 6 of them. There were 3 agents and slumped over in the corner with a spray of skull and blood kind of dotting the wall behind him is the limp corpse of TJ Malone. What do you do?
Kill them all.
Okay, let's roll some dice. Miles, I'm going to need strength and melee, please. I will point out the karaoke songs are still playing since Everett hit them. They haven't figured out how to turn it off. Tyler, what is currently playing?
Let's continue to be too on the nose and say it's Let the Bodies Hit the Floor.
Also, I know it exists. I haven't heard it, but oh my God, the karaoke backing track for Let the Bodies Hit the Floor must be a true delight.
Oh, I have heard it. And it is. Because I went to karaoke. Tyler, you were there, weren't you? We did a...
it's possible. We've done
a reunion of the Bachelor/Bachelorette in Niagara. And we went to an outdoor karaoke place. And this fucking 50-year-old woman in a leather jacket went up and did...
She fucking killed it.
Just crushed 4.5 minutes of Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. It was the best thing I've seen in my life.
Yeah,
Ridley would have given her all of his powers and walked away.
I mean, 1, nothing wrong with her. 2, nothing wrong with her. 3, nothing wrong with her. 4, nothing wrong with her. Miles, what'd you roll?
5 successes, 2 are 10s.
And still no hunger.
No hunger.
Much disappoint.
Sorry.
Tom, right. Does Drac cause blood to disappear?
Horning in a...
Actually,
Ryan, shut your face.
Yes.
Ryan.
Miles, you can't roll 3 10s and not get a messy successy on Drac.
I got 2 10s.
That's all you need. Also, you kind of want a messy successy.
Okay, sorry. What do you... Okay, no, sorry. I don't have any hunger.
Miles, what you do is you remember this moment.
No.
You store it deep down inside and you fucking shit all over Ridley's parade one day.
No. A messy messy successy happens when you get a 1 and a 10.
No,
two
dude,
tens.
it's 2 10s.
It's
And I would
when
argue
you get a 10 with a hunger die.
I don't have hunger die.
You are being
Thomas?
assigned hunger die in real time
No,
right
you know
now.
what?
No. That's not in the mechanics. No.
Okay, fine. You know what? You just get a very good success against all the people you're trying to kill.
Great.
Yeah. Really
Ryan,
wouldn't want a messy
you little
successy
troll.
right here, right now.
I think it would have made sense, but I'm not objecting.
Okay, so you know what? You just get a regular critical success. And you begin to tear people apart
That's all I want.
successfully and messfully. So you just succeed in a messy way, killing people all around you. But that said, because you refused a messy successy, which would have helped you in this situation, you kill 2 people. Everyone else turns and opens fire on you. So I'm going to need a dexterity and... Well, actually, this is a good question, Miles. Would you try and dodge gunfire, or would you just kind of stalk through it at this point, given that you're kind of a tall murder machine?
I try and stalk through it.
Okay. Set your survival to 4. And then I'm going to want, please, a stamina and survival. I know your stamina hasn't really gone up. But also, given that you're like a weird Slenderman creation, I feel like stamina isn't exactly in your wheelhouse, but survival would be.
For whatever reason, I had stamina at 3, so.
Oh, that's very good. Iris is just in good shape.
Yeah.
She fit.
One success.
Oh boy. Okay. Take 4 points of superficial damage to your health.
Okay.
As literally everyone left just turns and starts pumping ammo into you. It's one of those classic people shooting. I mean, it usually happens in a Resident Evil game. Everyone turns their guns on the big spooky monster. The big spooky monster kind of doesn't care. But you know, what else are you going to do when you've got machine guns? So, Iris, you've torn 2 people in half. And the demon says, your body seems to be deteriorating a bit. Are you all right?
I'm holding up.
Oh, okay. That's good to hear. You are a better vessel than I expected, I must say.
I'm stubborn.
That's good quality. Shall we kill one of the ones with the machine guns next?
Seems right.
Excellent. Hey, do me a favor. Can you bleed into his mouth a little bit?
I can try.
So, Miles, I will give this to you as a choice Iris can choose to do or not do. Do you attempt to bleed into the mouth of one of these guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm furious.
Yeah, no, legit. Again, that's why it's a choice. There's no trick here, ish. So you just reach out.
I'm just
I get
clarifying.
it. You reach out with spindle fingers, grab one of the guys who isn't wearing a helmet, and just kind of like hold him under you, and just full on horror movie like vomit blood into his mouth, and you see his eyes go black, and black veins spread across his face like he's Dark Willow from Buffy. And then kind of almost in a kind of vaguely broken puppet way, he turns and just starts firing his pistol at the people behind him. And as he opens his mouth, kind of a blackish tar seems to drip between the roof of his mouth and his jaw. And you hear the voice say, "Oh, that's the good stuff. Honestly, none of them are as good as Kindred, but we'll make do." So he shoots 2 of his unarmored compatriots and then shoots himself in the head.
Yay.
Ridley.
2 successes on intimidating the police officer.
So he just says, Listen, wow. Okay. That lady, she apparently, my boss told me she's really important and that we had to listen to her. She's part of some like secret task force or something. It might be some QAnon stuff. I don't know.
All right, who's your boss? What's their name?
Well, my boss, that would be Detective Farnsworth.
You got a first name for Farnsworth?
Yeah. Of course I do. Everyone has a first name. It's Captain Kennebec Farnsworth.
Kennebec Farnsworth. Excellent. And then I eat him. I just drain him fucking bone dry. I need it all, for I am hungry and injured. Okay. And then basically I just want to shove his corpse into the passenger seat, and I want to race back to the scene of the crime. Back to TJ's.
So you pull up at the back. You see a couple cops with shotguns leaning against their car. Mid-conversation, we're like, well, I mean, I just didn't expect him to steal. Oh, shit, he's back! And then they turn and...
Oh, man, I wore such a nice outfit.
You did. But unfortunately, they saw you when you left. So...
Reasonable.
They open fire with shotguns. I'm going to need to see if you can get out of the way of this, or are you just going to muscle through?
Muscle through probably, because he's got his like vampiric toughness that he definitely would put on the moment he was approaching the scene.
Okay. So stamina and survival then, I guess, bud.
Stamina and survival. Cool. Yeah, let's see what we got. That is 1 success.
Okay, so take 2 points of superficial.
Okay.
As you're kind of sprayed. Admittedly, you're like running toward them, so shotguns aren't super effective, but they kind of spray you with shot as you rush. Are you going to ignore them and go for the door, or are you going to deal with these two guys?
I'm imagining I can see that there are a ton of dead bodies all over the place and hear like
you're not in yet.
Show. No, but can I hear it like through the windows? There were people hit with cars and shit outside, right? Like, what am I seeing out here?
Oh yeah. Yeah, actually, Iris would be in the middle of her killing spree, but it's on the main floor. You're out back near the basement.
I get horror movie gun flash in windows and giant shadows moving kind of thing.
Well, no, because the way I'm imagining this, the back entrance is like the back entrance to a lot of bars and restaurants, where it's just kind of like a nondescript, non-windowed wall, basically with like a booze access and like a heavy metal door. So I don't think you're getting much of the violence from inside. But you did hear it on the radio, so you know it's happening. It's just...
Yeah, no, they've got weird Inquisition shit. This is a kill everybody scenario. So no, he's just going to murder these fucking cops.
All right, go ahead with that.
They hit him with a light grenade. He doesn't have time to fuck around.
I mean, these guys didn't. They just shot you with shotguns.
Same. They're all on a team. Fuck them.
All right, strength and brawl.
Great.
And while you're rolling that, we'll cut back inside. So, Miles... Iris is new to the spindly monster murder game. How do you imagine her attacking this room looks like? Like, what do you think she's doing? Because I don't feel like she's like tactically like running around being like, this one's the strong one. What do you think her approach to murdering this room is?
She probably starts with being pretty flaily and just like knocking people back.
Mm-hmm.
And then starts to kind of like try to be a bit more surgical with like ripping body parts off or like going for the heart or like slashing at their heads.
Right. So kind of the more you work your way kind of into the essentially like the body of this monster you're now controlling. At first it's kind of like, what am I doing? But as you
she's testing her range. She starts by I start by testing my range and like just giving myself space.
Mm-hmm.
And then it starts to become like, once I figure out how to use or what the capabilities are, like being a bit more precise.
Okay. I think for ease of narrative, Miles, I'm going to get you to roll, please, 3 separate attack checks and just mark down what you get, because I'm going to cut back to Ryan in a sec. But strength and melee, I think. given that you're now getting less brawly and more tactical about what you're doing. So if you could just chart those for me, and then I'll cut back to you in a sec.
The same roll 3 times?
Yeah. Same skill set. That said, for clarity of purpose, you took 2 vials of Drac, so I'm going to give you 2 points of hunger.
Okay.
Great. So go ahead and roll with that. Ryan, what did you get?
Cool. I got 6 successes on 6 die.
Oh, man, you're fighting 2 regular humans. What happens to these 2 humans, Ryan?
I think it's even simpler than his usual style because he's not sure how much of the murder that's been going on has been boys on cops or vampires on cops. So this is, I think he comes in and it's just shotgun to the first guy and just crack him across the chest with it, then crank it up and use the thumb to blow the next side cop's head off, and then spin it around and blow the head off the guy on the ground with the shotgun. So that they died by human means. And then he'd have to like go and basically try to like do that, like listen at the door, ready for somebody to come out the storage door. And then if he doesn't hear anything, then he'd give that like throw a fucking badge in off his police shirt.
You hear nothing.
Okay, then he's going in gun up. This is charge time.
You like run in, shotgun up, and as you hit the base of the stairs, you trip, and something gooey sticks to your boot, and you turn around to see a charred body reaching out to you, and through a burnt throat, you just hear, "Help!"
Oh, fuck me. All right, Harvey. You got to stay here, brother. I've got to get you fuck it. You want to eat fucking cats? You can't. He's just livid. They don't have any fucking cats. All right, then. Fuck, he can't leave Harv here. Harv's on Team Vampire. Harv is Everett's. It's like his son and Everett's half son.
Also, got a little bit of a crush going, so
yeah,
we're all shipping it. Save the
power dynamic's weird, but he's kind of into it. So yeah, can he pick him up without like fucking breaking him?
Yeah, you can pick him up, but it's like someone who's just covered in burns. So like you pick him up and you feel that horrible when you've roasted a marshmallow too long and it gets that like burnt skin that slides around a bit. Like you get that feeling as you pick him up.
Great. I mean that I'm not great, but he's in my hands now. I would carry him out and put him in the cop, because there's got to be.
Well, the guys you just killed had a car.
Yeah, we'll take the undamaged cop car. No one knows that. We'll put him in that.
Yep.
Probably back seat so he can lay out, and I'll close him and be like, I'll be back. Fucking, I don't know, make cat sounds. Maybe one will come to you. And then he'll fucking go back into the bar.
All right, so we're going to leave you at putting him into the car, and then we'll see what ends up happening with Miles' super roll. Also, Tyler, thanks for hanging out, bud. Sorry you're shot in the head and vaguely out of commission for a hot sec, but appreciate your patience.
I feel like making decisions is the worst thing that could happen to a player in this game. So take me out of the whole fucking show, man. I'm great. This is fantastic.
All right, Miles, how'd you do?
So the first roll was 7 successes.
Jesus Christ, you
Why
monster.
do we even bother playing a game? All right, yeah, cool. What's the next one?
3 successes. And I got 2 ones. One was red, one was white. I don't know if that matters with failures.
It does, but go on.
And then the third one was 5 successes.
Okay. My friend, you rolled a bestial failure, which is fascinating. So you begin to kill your way through the room. And as you are hacking and slicing and spraying, for a moment, the fog clears. And as it so often does, and so unfortunately does, as you look at the Warhol, or not Warhol, the Pollock-esque blood splatter on the walls, the fog that has enveloped you since you became a kindred passes, and the haiku form falls away. And for a moment, you realize you actually have full control of your artistic faculties. As you do this, your body stops mid-murder, and a half eviscerated body slips off your fingers as you begin to consider mortality, but also power and success. And also your mind is flooded with images of trees and of endless forest and nature teeming with creatures, of what seems to almost be an untouched natural world. Your mind is flooded with images of smoke rising under fish that has been strung out over planks of wood, of small wooden vessels traveling through water, of people fighting you. And then your mind sees those people start to be attacked by other people that you can control and manipulate. And you see the furry things that always kept you at bay start to just fall away. And slowly but surely, the world's starting to make sense. You also feel the weight of Earth around you, of being trapped under what seems to be a mountain. But all of these things are just inspiring you and feeding you. Miles, I'm not going to put you on the spot for coming up with what this poem is right now, but Iris suddenly has a poem in her head that is crystal clear. With a bestial failure as a toreador, you become fascinated by art. And usually it's like something beautiful around you, but for you, it's suddenly having access to your creative faculties again. What does that feel like for Iris?
I think it's pretty overwhelming. She's kind of frozen a bit. Mm-hmm. It's almost too much. Mm-hmm. Yeah. At
which point you, again, a body slips off your fingers and you hear the voice in your head say, "Get out of my head." And then you feel an intense pain in your chest. And it's bothersome because, it's interrupting the flow of your thoughts. And you look down to see a woman with a broken SWAT helmet holding a pool cue. A pool cue that has been driven deep into your chest. And suddenly the inspiration leaves. And so does your consciousness as you fall into torpor and your body on its back-hinged knees collapses into a slick puddle of all of your victims. Unfortunately, a few victims too short.
This episode of Blood and Syrup features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Megan Miles at Meggie Miles on Twitter, and Storyteller Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and all of Dum Dums and Dice's logos are by Decapitated Markers at Decapitated Marker on Twitter. That's MRKR. Our theme songs are What's Really Going On Right Now by Chase Allen Willis and Traffic by Kai Engel, and all our ads use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, that's JAHZZAR. All of their music is available on freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. We've also got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, and most importantly, you can join our Patreon of Darkness patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Sleep well, children of the night. Spooky.
Dum Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christian Menicola, Long, the Half-Blind Prophet, James Cuellar, Charles Grams, Christopher Little, Sue One, George Dolby, One True Artistry, Orion Birchfield, Lord of Bradovic, Noel Lewis, Scott Garland, Anthony Griffin, Chet Awesome Laser, Jordan Neesmith, Benjamin V, Gavin and Abby McDonald, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumbdumbdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.